Hello and welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, and in this episode we are going to have another look at Windows 10 Mobile in this case, and we are going to play 3 different games again. I didn't do that for the last couple of times, so now is the time to do it again. But just to let you know, there is something very interesting, very important going on with Sailfish OS at the moment and Jolla. And because there is a new Jolla Phone, which is at the moment for pre-order, available on the Jolla website. If you want to know more about all this, please have a look at the corner up there. Just to let you know, there is even something even more recent happening there, because at the moment the third batch is going to go in, and there's a new aim we have because something really important, really interesting is going on there. About accessories, more or less, or stuff that can be used with this replaceable back cover and stuff like that. So please have a look at that if you want to. I will link you to the Jolla informations down below. So if you want to pre-order the smartphone, for instance, or you want to be part of that new group there that is going to be there for, it's called The Other Half, then you should really have a look at the corner up there, of course, and down below in the description of the video, because I'm going to give you more information there. And of course, the next video I'm going to do is probably about this topic, but that's just at more or less the next episode, which will happen more or less 1 week from now. So at next weekend in general. Okay, so back to Windows 10 Mobile in this case. We are going to play 3 different games again today, which are going to be Aquarium Island, Happy Summer, and Mr. Jumper. My name is Gerald. As always, I've got a couple of different things with me to play all of this. I'm going to use my mouse, which is this one. I am going to use this Foldable keyboard here, which is a Bluetooth keyboard, as well as the mouse is a Bluetooth mouse, of course. Everything of that is going to be connected to my smartphone, which is laying at the side here. It's a Lumia 950 XL, pretty old one now, but still rocking it for Continuum, because what you can already see here is we get this desktop-like experience with a mouse on there. So I can move my mouse around, use that. Use, for instance, my keyboard. It's Bluetooth connected to the smartphone, as mentioned before, and everything should work. It's more or less looking like it's a desktop, but of course it's not a desktop. It's a Windows 10 mobile system with a different GUI on it, and like that we can use that more or less like a desktop system, but it's not the same. You can't run all the apps or stuff on that. Only the ones which are Continuum enabled. There are many of them on my channel already, and today we will have a couple of them in this episode too, so we are going to play some games, of course. If you want to know more about all this, please have a look at the corner up there again. There are a couple of different other videos where I'm talking about that more in depth. And then I would say let's start with the first game I'm going to show you today, which is Aquarium Island. Turning around for that just to see everything in a better way. Okay, so what is going on with Aquarium Island? Aquarium Island is more or less a small little game where you are going to build different things. And just to let you know, you're not going to build just an aquarium or something, but it's a very simple way, or a simple kind of game where you are going to build up more or less a shop for fish and stuff like that. So in the end, it's a pretty nice game if you like this kind of development games. All you can already see here is, I'm going to turn down the music a little bit. It's Continuum enabled, as you can see, and what you already can see here is that you got a couple of different fishes and submarines here on and stuff like that. But those are not really what we want to talk about. What we want to talk about is, of course, we want to build up the aquarium, the shop more or less for everything here again. For that I'm just going to click on that and we are going to start. All these games are a little bit of the same kind, and they just put on a different kind of skin. So in the end the story is always there's some bad guy who is coming and destroying everything that was there before, and you will have to build it up again. Okay, there is our little helper who is going to help us with building everything. And here we go. We already clicked on the store there, and like that we got our first instructions. And if I click on that, you can already see we have the first little small part. On the right, because we created this new little part, we can now click on the build button, and if we do that, as you can see, we get a couple of different options. There's going to be many more after a while, so everything is going to be more or less, yeah, checked free or made free for you if you're playing it for a while, getting money, score, whatever. And as you can see, here is our first, let's call it a workshop. Somehow it is a workshop. If I click on that, you can already see somebody is working very, very hard to get us our first clownfish in this case, so in the end the Nemo one, and he is going to be produced or living here at this point. We can click on that and see, okay, hey, it needs to have 15 minutes, but we can of course speed it up. Later on that will cost money probably. At the moment we have enough of that and we are going to put it in. If you should do that at the start, that's up to you. Sometimes it's not possible to not do it because they are going to teach you with that, and that's how it is. As you can see, here's our first customer coming around here, and what we can now do is, of course, hey, he or she in this case got a small little clownfish. And what's happening here is, of course, you are going to be constantly leveled up and stuff like that. That's just to keep you playing this game. And as you can see, we got a couple of different things already, and we have new options like this squid one. Is it a squid? I think it's called squid, right? I'm not sure. In the end, now you can build that one too. If we go in, there is our new option to build stuff, and as you can see, our customers are already asking for that, so we should be fast and do that. Otherwise, we are going to have trouble. It takes up 2 of the building spaces, and after a while you're going to have everything covered up more or less. Not the whole game space, so it's not about this part or something, but for most, more or less, this part at the start at least. And as you can see, we have our new, okay, it's called a life space more or less, so something where the different species we are going to try to create here are going to be built up or living, growing, whatever. And they are telling us, hey, of course, if you have a lot of demand for something, you can of course build more than one. Okay, cool, we did that. And we are getting money for that, or better to say experience at the start. Money and experience is more or less the right thing. Money is going to be the shellfish here, and the other one is of course experience. And if you go and get something, you should click on that to more or less collect it up, and after a while people will get more and more happy with that. And if you do that, you are going to more or less get, for instance, in this case, this sea turtle part. So let's try that. I'm going to click on that, go into this one again, and select the sea turtle part. And now we can, of course, create that one. So let's put it there. This icon means that there is something to be collected, so we are going to collect that, of course. And as you can see, you are constantly leveled up, getting new stuff to build, to work with. Is it a... Okay, it's already a shark I can use here. Perfect. And then there is this monument part. Okay. Very common for this game, kind of game, you have to more or less put money into this and other stuff to get more or less to a monument. The monument is going to be, in this case, this little character we have here already. Okay, perfect. Whatever. After a while, you can of course get that one then ready. It's this monument part, and monuments help you to grow faster and get more experience and stuff like that. That's more or less what you want to do here. We could have a look at the current progress. We're not going to take that. And just to let you know, sometimes you will see these kind of guys or whatever. In this case, it's area more or less. If you click on them, you're going to collect them. They are just going to be visible after a while and just give you something to do, more or less. Yeah. So or you can go at the right and the top and see what's happening. Sometimes you will find stuff floating in the air for some kind of reason. Okay, perfect. And sometimes you will just collect stuff from the ground here. And all in all you want to do is to grow, to create more little icons here. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. It's a shop more or less, so the shop is going to collect everything for you. And of course, the customers are going to try to buy stuff from you. And you should make sure that the customer is happy, of course, and get everything created that is there. As you can see in 1 second, okay, so I can get this little guy, and now we got those created. And after a while, you're going to get and click and do stuff all around you. Just to let you know, there are a couple of different other things. You can have a look at your tasks more or less at this point. You can zoom in and out, of course. You can do that with your if you have a mouse wheel, for instance, you can do that. Or, of course, with these buttons, depending on what you are playing on. I'm just going to collect that. And, of course, there are friends. So if you want to have a look at other people's creations and stuff like that, you can go on that button. I'm not going to. And after that, there is, of course, this button. The button for building stuff is going to give you different other things too. So, for instance, you could go and create decorations if you want to. Of course, you can have a look at your friends too. And you can get these bubbles. I think this is more or less watching some kind of an advertisement. Here is the options panel, and there you can do other stuff. You can, for instance, take your save games more or less and put them on another phone or something if you want to. And there's a lot of different other things you can do here. I'm not going to play more in this game because you should just find it out yourself. I like the game. It's a very small one, of course, but for this kind of building stuff, it's a very nice one, and you can give it to your children or whatever. It's totally fine to be given to anybody in any age group, I would say. Yeah, and other than that, let's go and close this down, go to the next game in our mashup. The next game is Happy Summer. Happy Summer is something very simple, similar somehow to the game we just watched. It's more or less a very, very simple game about going to the beach. So let's search for that first. I'm going to go to my all apps list here, click on that, go up there, and put in Happy Summer. Okay, there we are. Happy Summer is all about more or less clothes for girls or small girls, whatever. So you can more or less give this to your, I don't know, if you have a 4-year-old girl or something, that would be the right person to play this. If you should give a 4-year-old girl your smartphone and let them play for a longer time, I wouldn't recommend that. But in the end, if they want to click a little bit around, I think that's fine. And in the end, what you already can see is you get this very beautiful little girl and a woman. Probably a woman, yeah. And now you can just dress her up for the beach, for instance, or whatever. So Happy Summer just means, hey, try to dress her up in different kinds of way. You can give her different hairstyles and stuff like that. So just click on that. It's going to be put on the girl here, and you can just have a look and see which kind of style you want to go with and who you really want her to be. And so you are deciding what kind of hairstyle she got. I somehow like the pigtail ones here. All are fine in the end. There's not one of them is ugly or something. Maybe that one. Anyway, so let's go with, I don't know. I think the pigtail one is cute. So we are going to go with other things, and now you can just click on the different kind of styles here and try to give her the right look you want to achieve. Let's go for the earth kind of color style here. Looks fine for me. And yeah, just try it out. There are a couple of different options here to go with. And in the end, it's all about trying to setting up your dream girl or whatever. So for a boy, maybe that. But for a girl, of course, she can just try out different things and put them on the different characters you have here and try to get everything matching. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm very... Yeah, that would probably be matching. I'm not sure at the moment, sorry for that. I think that one is cute. But the top is not matching that. So let's do it like that. That would be somehow fitting, right? So in the end, just try it out. Give them a couple of different things that they should wear here and hopefully be very stylish with whatever, something like that. I don't know. Okay, now it's getting into earrings. That is really out of my league, I would say. Take that. Okay. Okay. I would say just leave it like that. Whatever, you already see what's going on here, so you can go through different kinds of categories more or less to bring it to life, give it different kinds of styles and clothes and stuff like that. And after a while you get the girl probably you wanted to create there, whatever. And this is more or less all of the game. So it's really just clicking different styles and stuff together, and after that you can take a picture of her, share it to some kind of a social network, whatever you want to do there. Of course you can click here to save it up, and now you have this picture and do whatever you want with that. So this is more or less what all this game is all about. Is it worth downloading for anybody else than being a 4-year-old child or whatever, or maybe somebody else? I would say doubtable. But if you want to try it out, just download it, click a little bit, it's fine. And after that, of course, you can just get rid of it again if you want to. Okay, so the last game we are going to play is, in general, even possible to be played on the Continuum one. But I think it's the worst experience you can have with something that has a delay. And for instance, a Bluetooth mouse always will have a little bit of a delay. It's an input lag, more or less. So you're clicking something and then it takes, let's say, I don't know, 1/3 of a second or something till the click is registered. And that is pretty bad for some games, especially for Mr. Jumper, which we are going to play in the next part. To avoid that, I'm going to play this on the mirror mode of my smartphone. So again, you could play it without the mirror mode. You could go with, for instance, a gamepad, which has a smaller delay in general. Still, it has a delay because it's Bluetooth. Bluetooth always has some kind of a delay. There are faster Bluetooth ones. In more modern ones, sometimes you don't recognize the delay anymore, but it's still there. So anything that is not cable bound will have a delay. Bluetooth is prone to have a pretty big one. All the others are faster in general, but today it can be fine for everything, okay? So anyway, if you want to go there, you can already see we are at the moment in the Continuum one. So I'm just going to click into the app at the moment, and then there's this 3 dots menu, whatever. It's a hamburger menu or whatever, but it's a 3 dots menu. In this case, I can click on the part up there, go in here, and if I scroll down, go to the extended settings, I can click on please mirror my smartphone display, more or less. So you're seeing everything that is going on my smartphone now on the big screen here. I can click on that, and as you can see, we are there. And what we are going to do now is we are going to play Mr. Jumper. Mr. Jumper, there we are. I click on that, and as you can see, we are going to go into that game, and it's really much better to play this on a delay-free device, like for instance the smartphone itself, with more or less your finger, which is pretty much delay-free. Not really, everything has an input lag, but this is way faster. And so we are going to play this game now. So let's have a look. As you already can see, for some kind of reason you see all the different cars driving by and stuff like that. It's not about the cars, it's not a car game or anything. It's not going to be frogs neither, so it's not going to be go over the street or whatever. It's a jump and run game. and it's a scroller game where you're jumping. So I'm not sure why we see all these cars, but that's more or less what this game was about. Maybe it was meant to be something different than it ended up to be, I'm not sure. In the end, as you can see, there are not much options to see. If you click on that, you can see, okay, we can get rid of the music and the sounds. Fine for me. After that, I'm just going to touch to start. And as you already can see, you will have a couple of different levels you can play, 10 in the end. And all these games are going to be a little bit different and yeah, a little bit more challenging, of course, if you're going to the higher numbers. So first game we're going to see here, and just to let you know, it's not easy to play this game anyway. So let's start with the first one, with each and every, yeah, okay, I will have to concentrate a little bit more, but with each and every click you're pressing, he's going to jump. If you press a little bit longer, he's going to jump farther or faster or higher in the end. Not faster, higher. And like that you can more or less go between different kinds of obstacles which are going to come. It's a typical side scroller, so if you are, for instance, hitting this kind of bar there, you are dead. It's not going to be the last one here, so it's not going to be when you reach this kind of area or whatever. It's going to be each and any obstacle you are going to hit, more or less, will kill you in the end, more or less, okay? So if you play that, you should be aware of that. And yeah, here is the attempt count and how long you got this game to be running. So 3% at the moment for me, because it was of course very shortly over. And now I'm going to try to go a little bit longer than that. As you can see, you can press very fast here, and you should, because it's not easy to play this. There is this one car, I'm not sure what this car does there. It's going to be there. There are a couple of other things running around. I'm not sure why we have this, but it's probably a nice one. I don't know. Yeah, as you can see, died because not that I hit the ground or whatever, or got to this hit bar or whatever. It's because I just jumped against this wall. And what you might see sometimes, as I'm experiencing it now, is that the game is going to go under after that. I'm not sure why that is happening, but it is happening. It doesn't make a lot of a difference, because you can of course play all the different levels if you want to. And if you already have been there, it's going to be saved and stuff like that. But I'm not sure why it's happening at all. After that, I'm just going to play the first round one more time. Clicking again, jump, jump, jump. And again, hit the wall. It's not going to be all the time, so sometimes you can really go back, but there are some situations, I think especially in that part we saw there, that might give you a hard time with stuff like that. Of course you should not hit those spiky ones, but in the end everything that is going to be there, other than of course the sky and the clouds there, is going to kill you more or less, so be very aware of that. Try to stand clear of everything you're going to work with here, and try to always go on. This time around I'm going to be a little bit better, not perfect of course, because you really, again, hit the wall, everything was done, 78% this time around. And yeah, now the jumping over those is pretty hard. You will have to get the exact timing right to go there. It's possible, of course. So yeah, let's try it one more time. Why not? Yeah, and died. Whatever. As you can see, it's a small little game. I think it's a nice one because you really can use the side scroller stuff. It doesn't try to be anything else. It's a side scroller. Just play it as that, because yeah, then it's a pretty fine one. Otherwise you will be maybe a little bit disappointed. Anyway, this is the end of the episode. I hope you had fun with this episode again. If so, please give it a thumbs up. Of course, as mentioned before, if you didn't subscribe to the channel till now, please do that now. If you have any kind of questions, comments, whatever, put them down below in the commentary section down below. And Don't forget about the Jolla phone, which I already teased you with at the start. The Jolla phone is something very special, and I would really like it to be happening. And it's going to be, because it's already funded more or less, and funded I think for over 200% now. I don't know the exact number, but very, very much funded. And we can even make it even greater than that with the campaign where we are going to go for this other half thing. So if you are curious about that, down below you find more information, try it out. And other than that, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, see you around, and bye. Bye!